Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome back to my channel. I am mama to a beautiful baby girl called Maeve and she is 4 months old. Yesterday she was 4 months old, so I am filming her 4-month update for you. Now she's actually asleep behind me in the bed. Oh, she's awake now, but she was asleep. So I'm going to see how much I can film and hopefully I'll be able to show her to you at the end of the video. Weight. I last had Maeve weigh yesterday and she weighed £16 10 ounces. She's on the 91st percentile, so she is quite a chunky little thing for her age. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I'm exclusively breastfeeding her. She's taking what she wants. I'm not particularly overfeeding her, I don't think. I don't know if you even can when you're breastfeeding, but yeah, she is what she is. A little pudding. Daily. So we don't really have a set routine at the moment because it's been the summer holidays, so Rosalie's been off of preschool. She only used to go a couple of afternoons a week, but she hasn't done anything for like 6 or 7 weeks. So our routine has pretty much been based around her and what time she gets up and stuff. I have started to try and encourage Maeve to sleep in until 6 AM. So if she was waking for sort of a 3 AM feed, but I've stopped feeding her then now, and if she stirs before 3 AM, sort of making noises like that, I'll just put her dummy back in rather than getting her out and feeding her. This has been working really well. I have found that I'm more tired because obviously I'm listening out. She doesn't go back into a deep sleep like she does when I feed her. Here she is. I would take her dummy out so you can see her face, but she might make loads of noise, so I'm not going to do that just yet. Yeah, she doesn't sleep she's not into a deep sleep like she would be if I fed her. She kind of sort of stirs, and then that wakes me up, and then I'm like checking on her, seeing if she needs her dummy put back in. So I don't actually sleep as well, and I've been waking up more tired. But last night she did wake, well, she stirred, and I didn't put the dummy back in, and she settled herself back to sleep on her own. So I think I'm going to stop putting the dummy back in, because if she can self-settle without it, that would be better in the long run. With Rosalie, she always needed the dummy, so I always needed to put it back in again. But this little one doesn't seem to need it as much. So I started breastfeeding her at 6 AM, and then after that feed I'll lay her back down in her crib next to us. It's just along here, and hope that she goes back off to sleep. She doesn't normally, but Rosalie's normally in at like 7, so once she comes into our room we're all up anyway. You say hi. You say hi. Hi everybody. Once Rosalie comes in, she'll watch the iPad for a little bit. If we have plans, I'll get up straight away and go and do my makeup, get Rosalie and then Maeve ready, and then we'll go out for the day. If we're staying in, then we normally go downstairs and have pyjamas, and we'll come back up later on and get dressed. I usually try and get away with making breakfast before I feed Maeve, so I make Rosalie's breakfast and she sits in front of the telly on a little stool and watches it. I'll have a cup of coffee while I sit and feed Maeve. After that feed, Maeve normally goes back off to sleep, so I'll lay her in a Moses basket and do a few little jobs like tidy up the kitchen and all the breakfast things, put the washing machine on, etc. And then I will, if we haven't already got ready first thing, we'll then go upstairs and get ready. If we're staying in, I'll put Maeve in her jumperoo, or we'll do some playtime together. Then it's normally lunchtime, we'll have some lunch, I'll feed Maeve again, then she'll go down for another nap. And then at 5 PM every day, this always stays the same, we have dinner, and we all sit around the table and have dinner together. After dinner, I bathe Maeve in her snuggle tub. She really likes it in there, so I haven't felt the need to take her out of it. She's quite happy in there, and Nick normally baths and Rosalie and gets her ready for bed, so I've been taking care of Maeve at the same time, putting her in a sleep suit and getting her ready for bed. And then we swaddle her, I breastfeed her, and then she goes down for the night. Yes. Are you talking? Yes, what are you saying? Playtime. I have now moved the jumperoo downstairs into our kitchen, as I mentioned in her daily routine. She goes in it at least once a day, and it's really good because if I'm in the kitchen, it's somewhere where I can put her down. Oh, are you trying to escape? What's the matter? What's the matter? She doesn't normally stay in there for long because it does tire her out. You're trying to sit up? I just had you sat up and you didn't want to sit up, so I laid you down and now you want to sit back up again. as I was saying, she loves it in there. She doesn't stay in there for long, probably about 15 minutes or so. She bounces around so much she makes herself quite tired, so after that she'll normally go down for a nap. I'm using her bouncy chair less and less. She keeps trying to lift her head up, so yeah, I'm a bit worried about her being in there now, because she keeps trying to sit up. I've been tending to put her on her playmat more, and she plays with the little toys in there. She's quite happy on that now, whereas last month she really wasn't. She's on the move. Obviously she can't crawl or walk yet, but she shuffles herself around, and often I'll go back into the living room after popping out to do some jobs in the kitchen, and she'll have moved from where I put her. So I put her on the playmat and then she'll be like hanging off it or somewhere. I'm not sure if it's Rosalie that's moving her or she's moving herself, but I think she's moving herself. Probably the thing we do most together is play with Rosalie. Rosalie loves playing with Maeve. Any game she wants to play, she wants Maeve to play too. So Maeve and I can often be found playing dolls and Barbies with her. She's such a chilled out little thing though, she really doesn't mind. Bedtime. As I said earlier, Maeve now goes to bed around 7:30, 8. I'll give her a bath, swaddle her, feed her, and then we put her in the crib, and that will normally be her for the night. I dream feed her about 10:30, 11. I find that keeps her going. So as I said, I've stopped that 3 AM feed. She is sort of waking, like last night I think she woke at around 2. And I put the dummy back in. Then she stirred at around 4, but I didn't put the dummy back in, and she just went to sleep on her own until 6. So yeah, we're just playing it by ear. She is stirring. I'm just like waking up, checking on her, because I've only been doing it for a few days now. But yeah, hopefully soon she will crack that. Feeding. I'm still exclusively breastfeeding Maeve, as you can tell. She's quite a noisy feeder. She has roughly 5 feeds a day, but these do vary. Depending on what we're doing. She usually feeds around 6 AM, 10 AM, 2 PM, 6 PM, and then 10 PM. I am still feeding on demand though, so if I feel like she needs feeding before that, or she's crying and nothing will settle her, then I will just feed her. I still feed on both sides on each feed, so if I fed on the right breast first, I then switch and feed her on the left breast afterwards. That noise she was just making is because she's emptied one and needs the other. She's happy again now. My milk supply is settled down now. I'm still wearing breast pads, but most of the time 1 pad on each side will last me the whole day. I don't really leak, and then I just change them at night for a different 2, and then again in the morning, obviously. I'm still able to express a little every day. The first feed in the morning, whichever breast I feed on first, I attach a hacker pump to the other breast. Hello, have you finished? And that just collects any like let down that would come out anyway. I usually collect between 1 and 2 ounces, and then I add that to a bottle in the fridge. Once I've got 5 ounces, I will then put that in the freezer. Sizes, Maeve is still in size 3 to 6 month clothing. She's only just gone into that. The sleep suits are pretty snug now already, but the clothes she fits nicely. Some of them are still a little big, which is reassuring. She's in size 3 nappies, and we haven't had that many poo explosions. I don't know if it's because she's not the right age and they come later. Hello. Hello. But I remember Rosalie having quite a few, whereas Maeve doesn't seem to have any. She's had 1 and that's it, and I thought, oh, maybe it's a time to size up into a bigger nappy, but size 4 just seems like way too big for her at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they happen more when they're moving about. As I said, we did have 1. But normally, as I can kind of, Maeve nearly always poos after she's had a feed. She seems to be more regular, so I pretty much know when she's going to do it, and I can take her upstairs and change her as soon as she's done it. Milestones. Smiling. Maeve smiles lots, don't you? Are you a good smiler? Are you a good smiler now? If you've read my previous updates, you'll know I was a little worried because she kind of smiles like with her mouth open, so she's like, oh. And I didn't really realise that was her smile for a long time. I just thought that was her sort of opening her mouth and shouting. But actually that was a smile, wasn't it? That was a smile. Yes. Yes. So now she smiles kind of normally, as well as doing that big grin smile. And now I've realised that's what it is. She smiles a lot. Giggles, she hasn't started giggling yet. She shouts a lot. She's a very shouty baby. Like, she doesn't really cry, she just shouts. She just goes rah if she wants something. She supports her own head now and sits up quite nicely when you're holding her. She'll sit up in her bumbo. We haven't put her in there that much, but she does quite like it in there. If you sort of lay her down, she's always trying to sit up. She has a little seat in the newborn attachment to the Stoke Trip Trap, which is kind of at an incline. It's more like a bouncy chair rather than an upright high chair seat, and she keeps trying to sit up when you put her in there. Pull herself up. I can hold her on my hip now. Woo! So I haven't winded her after that feed, so she'll probably be sick now. Where's the muslin? I'll get it ready just in case. And as I said, she's trying to pick herself up in the bath. She will sit on my hip quite nicely now. I can hold her on my side rather than always holding her on my front, because she does, as I say, support her head quite nicely. Don't you? She's making lots of sounds, sort of gargling and cooing and putting her hand in her mouth and dribbling lots. Dribble bibs are sort of an everyday item now. Grabbing, she reaches out and she pulls on her toys on her play mat. She quite enjoys that. She's looking at playing with things. Oh! Oh! She's such a good little baby. You're very easygoing, aren't you? You fit into all our plans quite nicely. See, this is the kind of noise that she makes. You put it on Mummy's hair. She doesn't really sort of cry, she just shouts. But apart from her shouting, that's the only thing, isn't it? And sometimes she'll do this when she's rolling around, and I don't know if it's just out of frustration that she can't get somewhere, or she actually wants something. She's such a good little baby. She fits into all our plans and just goes with the flow, really. She's a delight. She's always happy, like whatever's wrong with her, whatever noise she's making, if you pick her up and give her a cuddle, she will normally always settle. She loves the cuddles. We started to call her Maybe Mouse. I don't really know why, because she doesn't squeak, she squawks, as you have heard during this video. But it's quite cute because Rosalie calls her it too as well now. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of our 4-month update. I hope you've enjoyed how Maeve's doing. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy these, then please do subscribe. We do these every month. Sometimes I get a little behind. This is actually on the 1st, so she actually turned 4 months old when I'm filming this. But sometimes they are a little delayed, depending on what we've been up to. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!